Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of We Create the Vibes podcast, where we go out and find some of the dopest DJs out there creating vibes everywhere they go. Today's guest, let's run the background down. She's a program music director of the new Praise Radio. She's also a radio personality, MC. She does voiceovers. She's also 2022's Spin Awards DJ of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, we have DJ Miss Eclectic. What's going on?
Come on, introduction. That's the intro right there. I was like, who is that? Who are they talking about?
Right. Yourself. How's everything?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
I mean, thank you for having me. I appreciate you to reach out. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. So talk to me. You're from the Longhorn State, native of Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, man, talk to me about the background, the music. When I think of Texas, I wasn't too big into gospel, but I don't know. I think of like UGK, Paul Wall, Chameleon.
Arthur, Texas represented till I'm dead. I still rep UGK, okay?
That's what I'm talking about. So talk to me about the music that was coming out the crib. I mean, I've seen that your mom is a vocal minister of the music. So talk to me about the genres playing out the crib.
Yeah, so I grew up listening to nothing but good music. Like my mom still is to this day. Like she's the minister of music at my home church. Shout out to St. Luke Baptist Church in San Antonio, Texas. But San Antonio, to just give a background, San Antonio doesn't have a lot of like our music. Tejano and all that, they killing it. Because we're a little close to the border. So I mean, you Tejano, you kicking it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some good Tejano. I love me some good salsa. We can jam out. But when it comes to African-American music, it's not really represented there. I mean, we have our artists, don't get me wrong, but we don't have anything like the UGKs, like Swish House and all that came from Houston. You got Rap-A-Lot Records. Houston has a lot of heritage when you get there. Even Dallas has some. But San Antonio, we just kind of took from different places. We took from Louisiana, from Houston, Florida, even like Miami Bay. We even took some little bit of Atlanta and we just kind of made it our own. So, but in San Antonio, oh man, in the house, man, growing up, I'm listening to Anita Baker cleaning up. I'm listening to Luther Vandross. I'm all old school good music. And I'm also listening to gospel classics like the Clark sisters. And we're just going back. We're going way back. So, I mean, it was just nothing but good music. I grew up on all good music. Shirley Caesar, all of
it. Very, very dope. Now talk to me about the early teen years. I've seen you won many talent shows. You were out there killing it. Talk to me about that experience, man. Expressing.
Oh man, it was cool. Like teen was cool. Me and my cousin used to rap. Like we were like, we only 10 years old, but we some heartbreakers. We could like it was like the old school. Like we talking about 80s rap and giving my age out. But still, like we had a good time. We used to do like different like Parks and Recs was really popular back in the day. We used to do like different Parks and Rec talent shows. We were also in a church drill team. They don't have church drill teams anymore. But shout out to the old school church drill teams. And our drill team had a drummer, so you couldn't tell us nothing. So we would take like all the old school songs, like take No Diggity, and we make it a Christian song. We'd take like Mystical No Limit, and we make those Christian songs. So it was really cool. So that's really like my foundation right there. I mean, it was fun winning talent shows, rapping, just having a good time doing something that I love. In high school, won a high school talent show. I think I took what was the song? Oh, well, I can't. It was the Woof song by what was it? Snoop Dogg joined No Limit.
Okay.
Woof.
Oh,
that one. Okay. Yeah, that was it. But I took it to make my I took it like whatever what was our mascot? Rockets. So I'm like, Woof Judson Rockets, Woof Judson Rockets. We jammed out. Couldn't tell me nothing.
Very dope. So you doing the talent shows, did you see the future? Like when you were out there performing, did you know like, yo, I'm going to be doing this on a different stage. I'm still going to pursue entertainment, but this is what I'm going to do. Did you see your future?
I think so. I think God has always spoke to me. I always know I was a little different, touch too, but different. But I was like, Lord, I see something different, in my future. Absolutely. I didn't know where it was going to take me because we even joined our parents would let us sign a contract, but we were like associated with a label. It was a San Antonio label when we were young and all that. But I always knew it was in my heart and it was something that I wanted to do. I always knew that I had a love for music. Of course, it came from home. Like my mother's classically trained and all of that. I can't sing. I can hold a bowl note. I will be a good alto, but I knew I couldn't sing. So I just knew I was like rapping, writing raps, that whole little genre, whatever. I was like, Lord, I don't know what it encompasses, but from what I see, I can see myself doing this. I really have a passion for this.
Oh, very nice. Now talk to me about Welcome to the Pantherland, aka The Hill.
Oh, the Pantherland. Oh, well, man, shout out to Prairie View A&M University, where they produce productive people. The second oldest institution in the state of Texas. I like to throw out my, shout out my HBCU. But Prairie View was an excellent experience. Actually, this is the craziest thing. Like, I rapped all through elementary, middle school, high school. Got to Prairie View, I was like, I'm focusing on education. I'm like, we going in finance, accounting. I was like, leave all these childish things behind. That was my mindset. It was crazy. I don't know why I did this shift.
How come? You don't
I don't know. In my mind, I was like, let's get this education. It was like a shift. It was really crazy. But I mean, I ended up still rapping. Like, people somehow found out I rap. So I still started like rapping in the local church and rapping from different people. I was like, well, how did y'all find out I rap? And so and I ended up joining a music fraternity. Shout out to Sigma Alpha Iota Music Fraternity for Women. And that brought amazing activities. And so we actually charted on Prairie View A&M's campus, but we were founded in 1903. That was an awesome experience. Being just involved with all this, the sisterhood of musically inclined women was absolutely phenomenal. And that's actually where I met my group mate, Yvette Harden. We actually knew her from San Antonio, but we actually met in Sigma Alpha Iota. And then that birthed the group Free, Forever Radical, Edifying, and Exalting. And then it was great.
Nah, that's super dope. All right, so you linking up with Yvette.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand it. It's like you gotta have a type of synergy to work.
You have to.
Another person. How did y'all connect? And when y'all first met, like, what was your impression of her?
Well, Yvette was like, it was so funny. Like, back in the day, Yvette was like this well-known cheerleader. So I didn't know her because San Antonio, it's a big city, but it's like 6% black. So you kind of have your ear in all the black activities. Wow. You know what's going on. So she went to like the East Side High of San Antonio. They're gonna kill me if I say it, but that's and but they were like well known for their band, cheerleading. They were awesome. And I just knew Yvette, this cheerleader. My cousin would talk about her all the time. So when I met her in college, I was like, you like low key a local celebrity. Like, everybody talks about you. But we connected right off the bat. And she is a phenomenal writer. When I tell you somebody who can write, she can write music. She's a phenomenal writer. So she was writing music. We actually started the group after we graduated. Okay. I don't even know how we connected back after we graduated, but we both moved back home to San Antonio. And she graduated before me, but we both moved back to San Antonio. We were just talking one day. Oh, I was recording something for her, actually. I believe she was recording something for her dad. And I was like, hey, why don't we be a group? You sing, I rap. Let's do this. But our personalities really, really meshed. Because back then, I would get on the stage. I wouldn't talk a lot. She'd be the talker and all that. And then, but we would work well together, rapping. I mean, late nights, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with the corporate job, like all of that. We worked well together because we both knew what we wanted. And we both were rooted in Christ. So that was never an issue. We grew a lot together. It was an amazing journey. It's an amazing journey.
Nice. So talk to me about the corporate job and the shift. I mean, a lot of people work corporate while they're pursuing their dreams.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Sometimes the corporate takes over the dreams, and sometimes the dreams take over the job. So you got to talk to me, because I could like really relate with that. So.
Yeah, in my journey, the dream took over the corporate. But shout out to my corporate company, because the whole time I was there, I was still DJing, I was still rapping, and they supported it. Like, if we were viewed like we were on a local television show, they would like play it around the campus, which was pretty cool. So I've always I have no regrets for being there, because they always supported. I've DJ company events at the location. So that was really cool. They were a very supportive company. But one day, I worked corporate America for 10 years, and the Lord was like, but I complained about it after a while. I mean, it was an analyst job. You got out of college, that's what you want. You got a good desk job, and you're doing what you love.
That's a good paying job too.
Yeah, it was. Gosh, I miss it. But the point is, but I remember the funny thing though. I wanted it, but I guess I always still knew what I wanted in the back of my head. Because even the first thing I bought with my money, that my first paycheck was like a whole little studio bundle. Okay. I was like, so I definitely still wanted it. So that definitely was still in the back of my head. But I worked corporate America for 10 years, and I've been complaining like the last probably 5 years. I had tried to shift. I ended up moving from San Antonio to DC to shift, just to get a different atmosphere. And then Radio 1 was in DC, and I knew that. After 10 years, God was like, quit your job and move to Atlanta. First, moved to Atlanta, and I was like, well, I was on the federal side of my job. I was like, well, there's no federal side of this job here. I was like, I can't move to Atlanta, Lord, and keep my job. That's not going to work. And so after confirmations and all that, I literally quit my job and I moved to Atlanta. And I was like, okay, cool. Here I'm gonna pursue radio and DJing. I have a company called Eclectic Music Enterprise. I was like, I'm just go with it. I'm gonna register it. I'm gonna go ahead, step out of here on faith. Thank God for family who lived in Atlanta. But it just, I'm big on alignment with God. When things align, then I know that's Him. So I asked my cousins, I was like, can I stay with y'all? They were like, yeah, come on. It was like too easy. I was like, okay, Lord, I guess
Wow.
but I mean, when I tell you God has opened some doors, and who knew a pandemic was coming? Like, I didn't know any of that was going to happen.
Right.
But God is amazing. He sustains, and God is good. I mean, He really is. No complaints.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to work hard, and trust me, it's an adjustment. Like I said, you lose that corporate money and that money that you know that's coming every 2 weeks. You're like, okay,
What am I going to do to get,
yeah, what am I going to do to get this? Exactly.
Was there any emotions? Kind of like when I left my okay. Talk to me about that. Like, were you like very excited? Were you scared? I mean, some people are so scared to like just leave a job knowing, I'm gonna get 2 weeks pay. This is guaranteed. I know what's going on every 2 weeks to I'm gonna start something new, and it might not take off till 3 months later or 4 or 5 months or even a year or 2 years. Like what was your thought process?
Oh, I was like, I think I was going crazy. Like, it was so funny because my roommate at the time was my best friend. And I was like, hey, I'm not going to renew the lease. And she was like, what? And her dream, she sings opera. I was like, you saying you want to move to New York? And I moved to Atlanta. So we were like, we cried and prayed and all that together. It's funny, the weekend we moved her to New York and I moved to Atlanta. But I mean, all types of feelings were going through. I'm like, Lord, what am I gonna do if I don't make it? Like, it's been trust me, since I've been here, it's been many a nights. I'm like, Lord, did I make the right decisions? It's been many of crying nights in the bed, like, Lord, I just ain't gonna make it. It has been many, many, many of those nights. As I say, this journey is not for the weak at heart and the weak at faith. But one thing I will say is, I know people always say it's a cliche, God has never failed me yet. And I just say God has never failed me because He's not going to fail me. So I just keep out that yet perspective, because I'm like, okay, He's not gonna, if He told me and if I heard Him correctly and these things are lining up, I have to work on my crazy faith. And I do have some crazy faith. My family was like, you literally moved from city to city. I said, yeah, because I know God's got me. Like, trust me, it's been some nights where I'm just gonna pack up and go home. It's been some like, the ugly crying nights, like, and I'm an ugly crier. It's been some ugly crying nights, like, I just ain't gonna make it. God has sustained me. Like I said, I focus on that not yet part because I know that He's not gonna fail me. But trust me, it's been some crying and some praying in this house. Sometimes my neighbors probably thought I was crazy.
No, that's real,
And I don't think it hit me till I got here. Like, I really just did this. Like, I literally just picked up and moved.
Big shift. And that's big. Like, you gotta be courageous to do that. A lot of people are not. So I applaud you on that. Definitely.
Thank you, guys. This is a struggle out here in these streets, though. But yes.
Talk to me about your experience at South by Southwest Music Conference.
Oh, man.
Conferences out there. Talk to me about that.
South by Southwest. I just told somebody. I said, man, since I moved out of Texas, I haven't been to South by Southwest. But South by Southwest was amazing. So the group Free, we performed at South by Southwest, plus I've DJ'd at South by Southwest. It's an amazing experience. I mean, so many different genres of music, so many people from all over. The energy is just super positive. It's super crazy. The crowds are so receptive because there's a lot of independent artists. I mean, you have your major artists, but the basis of it is like people coming together, independent artists, dope musicians. I mean, dope connections. It was just an amazing experience. Like, if you haven't been to South by Southwest, go to South by Southwest. It's a crazy experience. Like, every time we go, I met somebody different, experienced something different. It's amazing. Like, and even when you're going to support other people, you can just pop in different places and support other artists. It's just like a music haven. It's super fun.
Yeah, I heard so many. I mean, I haven't went myself, but I was trying to go during my college time, but yeah, the finances just weren't there.
Oh, I understand. I get it. I definitely understand. No, South by Southwest it's been an amazing experience.
And you spoke about connecting with people, networking. Talk to me about the importance as a DJ, networking with other people, because some DJs don't understand that concept. Like, you want to get booked, of course you got to promote yourself, but you got to network too. Like, people got to know you and know what you do and know that you're actually good at what you do.
Absolutely. What they say, word of mouth is still one of the best forms of advertisement. Networking is essential. It's definitely essential. Like you said, you can you can promote all day, but if people know you and you just know networking with one person in a room might change your life. You don't know who they're connected to, what type of events they have coming up, what type of organizations they're a part of. So networking with one person can change your life. So networking is essential. Like it's essential to network and to network with other DJs as well. Because I don't care if you have the same playlist, you're still not going to play the songs the same way as another DJ. So one thing I loved when I moved to DC was I loved all the camaraderie, like with the DJs. I'm like, yeah, take my gig. I can't do it. I was like, but you don't even know me. I could be horrible. But it was just like, there was like a sisterhood and brotherhood. It was really awesome. And I love that we share music to this day. Shout out to Fleet DJs. Share music, all of that. So all that's essential. You don't know who they know. Like I said, my main genre is gospel. So they'll be like, hey, I got a gospel event. I don't really do gospel events. You want this one? Or, hey, I got a gospel event. What's your top 10 songs? And I call somebody like, hey, I'm doing this club tonight. Y'all know that ain't really my genre. What's your top 10? So it matters. Like, networking in general matters. I mean, knowing that one person in the room, like I said, even you walk in the room and you know that you had that one person, they validate you in the room. Well, God validates you first, but we had that one person that validates you in the room. It changes the whole aura of the room. So it's important, super important.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of sharing stages, I mean, you shared stages with many great artists. Give me some do's and don'ts, man. As a DJ, like what are some things that DJs should not do while sharing a stage with an artist?
First of all, don't play their songs. Don't play their songs in your set before they come out, like, so, because you don't know what they're gonna sing.
That's a big one.
That's number one. Like, oh, they playing that song. Oops.
That's a big one.
So that's number one. And then know what artist you're sharing the stage with. If I'm sharing the stage with Erica Campbell, I'm probably not going to go really heavy CHH bass. I'm going to do like contemporary gospel, like your Kiara Sheedy, your urban gospel, Jordan Armstrong. And if I'm sharing the stage with Bizzle, I'm probably not going to go real contemporary gospel. I'm going to go more CHH. So know what genre that you're in. And then my biggest thing is know your audience. Audiences are major. Like you can go in with one set in mind. And I've had, it's going to be a young audience. The audience is like 50 and up. Like, whoop, we got to change this. They're going to look at it like this. I don't know them songs. So you really got to, preparation is key. But once you get there, you got to be able to adjust and shift as well to know your audience. So yeah, know who you're sharing the stage with, know your audience. And then at some point you'll catch the vibe of the audience. I mean, it's going to happen, but that's two major things, some do's and some don'ts. Definitely don't play their song.
Right.
And that be ever ready. I've had a time where the DJ I was like, hit it. And I was like, oh, he was ready already. I was over here, so I mean, I made the mistake too. Like, oh, let me play your song quick. Because I'm good for talking. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm over here having a whole conversation with somebody. I've made that mistake too. So like be ever ready. Like if they have a set list, be proactive, already know it, talk to their manager, all the above, because all that matters.
No, absolutely. So much new music out. What's your go-to record right now? What's that one record that captivates you that, this is it? Like I'm throwing this on. This record's going to get the crowd shaking and moving.
Ooh, oh, wow. That's a good one. What am I throwing out? It all depends on the audience. It all literally depends on the audience. If I'm going, if I'm playing last night I did it was like a networking event. If I'm doing like a networking event, anything 90s is going to set it off because people haven't heard. People like, well, I don't hear that anymore. Right. So like my latest go-to jam, it's the old school. But if I do like jam, like Teddy's jam, people go crazy because they haven't heard it in like so long. And you put that with Groove Me and do a whole little 90s set. Oh, they like, man. I'm like, listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't play a lot of when it comes to that genre, I don't play a lot of the new stuff. I mean, I nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm an 80s baby, okay, the 90s kid. So it's in my heart. So, but when it comes to gospel, man, it's so many good songs out right now. Like it's hard to pinpoint just that one go-to. That's a tough one. To pinpoint that go-to.
Give me like your top 3 records.
My top 3 records.
Like spinning, just period. Doesn't matter the environment, atmosphere. Like these records are a go.
These records are a go. Okay. If I'm doing Love Like This before the remix, that's a go. That's
always a go.
That's always a go. That's gonna get them. That's always gonna be a go. Let's see. If I hit, why am I drawing a blank here? This is the craziest thing ever. If I am doing a gospel event, it totally depends on who's in the audience. But if I'm doing a gospel event, let's say, man, that's still a tough one. And I don't know why I'm throwing a blank here.
No, I feel you because
and I play music all the time. I'm like, why am I drawing a blank? A good ending song is always, but no matter where you are, you could always do Before I Let Go. You know,
yeah.
Always flip it with the Beyonce version at the end. You know, do a little mix. That's a go-to. That's a go-to ending song wherever you are. It's clean. Nobody's mad about that.
Right.
Oh man, it's funny that I can't watch before the end of this interview. I'm gonna pinpoint my top one song.
Nah, hey, throw it out when you do it. It's all good. So, what's your mentality like going into every gig?
To read the crowd and for everybody. At the end of the day, I want everybody to have a good time. Like, and that's the thing. Like, my whole thing is whether it's secular or whether it's gospel. Like, if it's secular, I play all clean music. So I just want people to know that you can play clean music, have a good, clean time. And I like people to dance. Like, that's my thing. I want you to have a good, whether it's an event you sitting down, I want you to dance in your seat, whatever, I want you to have a good time. And I want it to be an experience. And that's what I love. And I love mixing old school and new school, no matter the genre. So I want you to have a good time. So my mentality is to go in there, read the crowd, and make sure they have a good time, no matter what. Like that's the whole mentality the whole time. I'm not a DJ who doesn't take requests because requests help you read the crowd sometimes. Like, I'm playing what I want to play. This is not my event. Right. Like, so I want everybody to have a good time, smile, because music has a great effect on people. You never know what people have been through during a week. So you want people to have a good time. I've had people come up to me and be like, man, I've been in the hospital, whatever. Man, this made me smile today, it made me laugh today, it made me dance today. And I think that's the end. It's not about you at the end of the day, make the people happy.
Absolutely. Now, talk to me about your business, Eclectic Music Enterprise.
Yes.
Dive a little more deeper in what services are you providing for people and companies out there?
Absolutely. So really, it's the DJing services. So it's DJing services, radio services, all the above. So I do voiceovers, as you said. I do voiceovers. I do commercials. Do DJ services, DJ mixes, of course, DJ services as a whole, and anything radio. So I also work with radio promotions too. So all the above, all three of those factors. And during the pandemic, started something new. We started doing like studio setups and radio setups. So that's when everybody started doing their virtual setups, and people didn't know. They're like, I got this home studio, I don't know how to work it. Or I got this whole podcast gear, I don't know how to work it. So hey, we'll go to your house, we'll set it all up for you, set up the hardware and the software. So that's something that new started during the pandemic. But hey, it's been lucrative, been great.
Very dope, and I love to see that. Now, I don't want to dive too personal, but talk to me about this. How are you able to come to terms with some of the things that happen, in your personal life? I've read some things that happened in your childhood. So a lot of people, because even myself, I had things that happened to me in my childhood that I'm still trying to get over. And I saw Lecrae, and I thought it was dope that you guys were talking about therapy. I feel like it's very important.
Yeah.
A lot of people just neglect it, or they think, oh, well, I'm gonna be okay anyway. And it doesn't happen like that. So because a lot of times people don't realize a lot of things that happen in our past or childhood, a lot of times hinders us from being like really great, like achieving our goals, succeeding, excelling. Like a lot of times, our past traumas can really, just kill our vibration to succeed, just period.
Absolutely.
So, what was your process? Like, how were you able to, basically just come to terms and just really move forward and just excel and push forward in your career?
Therapy. Therapy is major. I think people, especially in the Black community, sometimes even more so in the Christian community, we kind of shun therapy. Like, just go to God. Well, God has made people. He's put people in your life. He's made faith-based therapists. They went to school just so they could be the person to help you. And I think that's so important. And I think it's important. This is just me personally. I think it's important that you go to therapists that looks like you. Yeah. And it's like, if you're a Christian, that you go to faith-based, whatever your, religion or whatever your affiliation is, but you go with somebody that believes those same things because you can bounce that off of them. There are certain things that I probably couldn't talk to a man about. There's certain things I can talk to a Caucasian about. Nothing wrong with them, but there's nothing, but I went to a female faith-based therapist that I could just throw everything off of. Right. And it was an amazing thing. But that just works for me. I'm not saying that works for everybody, but it definitely worked for me. And for me, what I was going through, because I was molested in my childhood, what I was going through was I never told my mom. So I was like, I got to tell my mom. But my thing, I was like, she's going to feel guilty. Me and my mom have a super tight relationship. I was like, I got to tell my dad. Like, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. So it was hard, but God was just putting it on my heart to do it. So I had to do it. But therapy changed my life. I went to a point where I was like super depressed, really had a hard time going to work, all of that. Because when you go through trauma, sometimes your brain suppresses what happened. And so you got to relive all of that. You're like, did it happen? I don't know, because your brain has suppressed it. And my therapist explained to me that's how you survive. That's your survival mechanism, is that you suppress what happened so you can live. But at some point, you've gotta come forward to it. And I always say we can't control what happened in our past. We absolutely have no control over that, but we are controlled for taking control of it for the future. Once you become of age, it's important that we go to therapy. It's important that we confront those situations so they don't happen again. We break generational cycles. All of that, I think that's so important. So therapy has been the greatest thing for me.
No, that's very dope. I mean, I think it was so important to discuss because a lot of people are just hiding or masking what they're going through, and it's really like messing them up as far as
it is
things and just general, like you said, like not wanting to get up and go to work. Like I know that feeling because it was times where like I can't even get out the bed. Like I'm just messed up, like mentally. Like
no, I mean, yeah, I remember vividly. I was watching okay, what's the ER movie? I mean the show that came on. I can't think of the song right. The famous ER show. I can't think of the show right now. But I watched like every day, and it was not even watching. I was just watching. I was just depressed. I was just like, I'm watching this to watch it. I don't even care what's happening. I'm just watching it. I'm not doing work. I'm just watching it. I was like, okay, I gotta go to a therapist. I was like, okay, it's time. Like you gotta go see a therapist. But man, and I think it's important too, like to share what you've been through. You don't know who might be holding on to that. And for me, like I grew up in church and all that, and you want to be this good church. I grew up just like the model church citizen. When you're not the model church citizen, sometimes you got to get out of that. And you don't know who else you're helping that might have been through that. So I think it's important. And do it when you're ready. People shun people for coming out 20 and 30 years later. I had a conversation with my friend about this. I said, you can't, because as I'm talking about your brain is trauma. You have to be ready to expose that. The way people talk about people who've been molested or raped years later, but you have to come to terms with that it happened yourself. So I never talk down on anybody, man or woman, that's happened to. I think it's so important that you come out when the time is right, and you never know who you're going to help. And especially you're going to help yourself at the end of the day.
So true. Very true. So you being one of the leading DJs in the gospel industry, but also too, you definitely representing for the women out there. Like you killing it. Like you're doing your thing. Not even just women. Like you're killing it. Like where you don't got to toss it up in men and women. But how important is it for you to represent for the women out there and let them know like this is attainable. Like this is not just this ain't just for the dudes. Like this is attainable for everybody.
It is. I mean, it definitely is. Like women are just as skilled as men. I know, like even like when it comes to like producing in the industry, I think women are like 2%. I may be wrong, but it's like a really low percentage of women that are like just represented in the industry and behind the scenes, I say, or like DJing in that technical aspect at all. But we are just as dope, man. We are just as dope. We have the technique, we have the style, we have it all. Like we are just as dope. And one of the things I really want to do, I want to start like a school or just like an academy that teaches women about radio, about DJing, about it all, because man, we can do that. But I didn't grow up seeing a lot of that. I didn't grow up seeing a whole lot of female DJs like in my city, I would say, or a whole lot of female radio personalities. But man, we are out here. We are just as skilled. And I think it's important that when we go out, we represent. And all the ladies I see, they represent. Cool thing I like about Atlanta, it's a lot of female DJs here. And I love seeing it. And they always represent. They always have the crowd moving. I'm like, yes, what we do. So, man, we out here and we are representing, and we are representing well.
Absolutely. And I love to see it. I really do. Because people got to understand, like, yo, it's just like sports. Like, it's not, only a guy. Everybody
can
partake. Like, this is not.
Right. It's exactly.
Yeah. So, it's like,
no, we out here repping. I'm trying to tell you, we out here repping. And I'm like, out here killing it. Some DJs are out here killing it, and I'm loving it. Like I'm loving every bit of it. It's not a lot of female DJs in the gospel arena, but I know it's gonna be more, so they're gonna come out somewhere. Absolutely. But hey, we out here representing, and I love it, and I love the men that are receptive to it. I love it.
Yes, and definitely open up that school too. I think.
Yes, I am. I am. I'm
important.
I think it is. I really think it is. I wish I grew up seeing something like it. And so, yeah, I definitely want to do that. It's definitely a goal of mine.
Oh, definitely. Are you ready to play a game, this or that?
Ooh, all right. Let's do it.
All right, let's get to it. All right. this or that. Basically, you have options right here. It's either this or it's either that. All right. Live in Washington, D.C. or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Okay. DJing or being an MC?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Ah, now MC, you mean like MC as in hosting or MC as in rapping?
MC isn't rapping. And I know you had bars.
I lost you.
That was all good. MC.
Oh, I lost you. Say that one more time.
MC as in rapping. I know you had bars, so.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say DJ because I haven't rapped, man. I've rapped a little bit now. You know, I don't rap like I used to, so I'm gonna have to get DJing on top of that.
I feel you on that. Had the number one radio show or the number one podcast?
Radio show. I love music too much.
Okay. DJ for Tamar Braxton or DJ for Erica Campbell?
Ooh, Erica Campbell. I look up to E.
Okay.
Even though she just played JK, it's all good. I'm a Delta, so it's a joke.
Sorority wars. Gospel R&B or 90s R&B?
Oh man, that's a tough. I'm gonna have to go. Lord, don't show me. I'm gonna go 90s R&B.
You know what's so funny? I actually thought you were gonna go 90s R&B too.
I love me some 90s R&B.
I could tell you just got the vibe, like the aura and everything. So I see it in you. So
we're gonna talk to Jesus after this. You're gonna get me in trouble with the Lord. All
right, that was this or that. I mean, very simple, easy game right there.
For sure.
All right, so talk to me. Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? You know, what do you see yourself have going on? What empire are you building in the next 5 years?
Man, I'm trying to be like the Queen Latifah of gospel in the next 5-10 years. Like, I'm trying to take over radio and DJing. No, really. I see touring. Man, that's literally the goal because I love radio, I love DJing, and I love all aspects of music. So, I definitely see myself continuing to be in radio, definitely as a personality, program director, producer, in all facets of radio. I definitely see that. And I see touring. I see being like the gospel female DJ mogul. That's what I see. I see all aspects. I see the school, under the umbrella. I see the DJ and the rapping. I mean, all that under the umbrella, like just the whole facet of music. Just let's do it all. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna accomplish it all, but my crazy faith, I'm sure gonna try.
Well, you will. Just put it out there.
For sure.
Have some faith or trust.
Absolutely.
And you work hard, so
absolutely. Yeah. I just want there to be an alternative of what you see. Because like I said, you don't see a whole lot of gospel DJs. A lot of time, in general, females, what you see, of course, is the narrative that the media pushes a lot. So I want to know that you can be cool, you can be a Christian, you can have fun, you can do all that and live a righteous life. So at the end of the day, that's what I want.
Oh, absolutely. So how can people find you, get in contact with you, but most importantly, how can people book you?
For sure. So I'm DJ Miss Eclectic across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not on Twitter a lot. I'm a newly found TikToker. If you want to book me, you can book me at djmisseclectic@gmail.com. So everything is DJ Miss Eclectic. Definitely hit me up at DJ Miss Eclectic for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got the links. Another episode of We Create the Vibes podcast with the special big guest, Texas native right here, one of the dopest DJs out here right now, DJ Miss Eclectic. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tap in.